Stop right there. Before you make another peanut butter and jelly sandwich, you need to see what's really in that jar of jam, because what I'm about to reveal will completely change how you look at the jam and jelly aisle forever. Some of America's most beloved, most trusted jam brands are hiding ingredients so shocking, so processed, and so far from real fruit that they should be classified as candy, not a fruit spread. We're talking about jams loaded with added sugars, cheap corn syrups, and fillers that have absolutely nothing to do with the wholesome fruit pictured on the label. Meanwhile, the food industry has been playing the ultimate deception game, convincing you that their sugary, factory-made goo is somehow a healthy, fruit-filled staple for your family's breakfast. But here's the truth that Big Food doesn't want you to know: not all jams are created equal. While some brands are literally selling you corn syrup with a splash of fruit flavoring, others are quietly making real jam the way it's supposed to be made, with actual fruit, simple sugar, and nothing else. Today we're exposing the 5 jam brands you should never, ever buy, products that are fooling millions of American families every single day. But don't worry, I'm not here to ruin your toast forever. We're also revealing the 5 jam brands that are actually worth your money and might just remind you what real fruit is supposed to taste like. If you've ever wondered why some jams taste sickeningly sweet, why they have a weird gelatinous texture, or why your kids have a sugar crash an hour after breakfast, stick around, because what you discover in the next few minutes could save your family from years of unknowingly eating industrial sugar sludge disguised as a wholesome fruit preserve. Hey jam lovers, welcome back to the channel where we peel back the labels on the food industry's biggest lies and serve you the unfiltered truth. I've spent a lot of time digging into nutrition labels, ingredient lists, and official guidance from organizations like the FDA, comparing what brands claim on the front of the jar with what they're legally forced to admit on the back. The American jam industry is a multi-billion-dollar market built on a simple, profitable lie that you can't tell the difference between real fruit and fruit-flavored corn syrup. They've perfected the art of making cheap, sugary goo look like artisanal preserves, making artificial thickeners seem like a natural part of the process, and making industrial preservatives appear necessary for freshness, all while charging you more and more for less and less actual fruit. Today's video covers the brands you see in every grocery store in America: Smucker's, Welch's, Polaner, and the store brands that promise value but often deliver anything but. We're talking about the jars that dominate the PB&J aisle, the ones advertised with images of sun-drenched orchards and happy families, and yes, even some of the so-called healthy options that are just as bad as the rest. But here's the thing, I'm not anti-jam. Real jam made from actual fruit is a delicious and simple pleasure. The difference is, I want to make sure that when you're spreading something on your family's toast, you're actually giving them fruit, not a science experiment designed to hook them on sugar. Ready to discover which jam brands are the worst offenders and which ones are actually worth a spot in your pantry? Let's unscrew the lids and expose the truth about America's jam industry. Number 5. Smucker's Goober Grape. Let's start with a childhood icon that is, in reality, a nutritional nightmare. Smucker's Goober Grape, with its mesmerizing stripes of peanut butter and jelly, is a masterclass in how to market processed sugar to kids. What's really inside? The jelly side of this jar is a chemical disaster. The ingredients for the grape jelly stripes are grape juice, high fructose corn syrup, pectin, citric acid, and sodium citrate. Notice what's at the top of that list after grape juice? A double dose of corn syrup, the high fructose corn syrup reality. In Goober Grape, the peanut butter is swirled with a jelly made from grape juice, plus a whole stack of added sugars: high fructose corn syrup, and dextrose. HFCS isn't some magical poison compared to regular sugar, but diets that are high in added sugars from any source are strongly associated with obesity, metabolic problems, and fatty liver disease. It's cheap and easy for manufacturers, which is why it shows up alongside more corn syrup. At that point, you're dealing with a sugar product with some grape flavor, not anything that behaves like real fruit in your body. The fruit deception. The first ingredient is grape juice, but often this is from concentrate, meaning it's been stripped of water and then rehydrated, a process that can degrade nutrients and flavor. You're not getting the fiber or the full nutritional profile of whole fruit. You're getting sugar water with grape flavoring. Why avoid it? You are feeding your kids or yourself a jar of peanut-flavored candy. The jelly is nothing more than corn syrup and artificial thickeners. For the same price, you could buy a jar of real peanut butter and a jar of real fruit jam and make a sandwich that contains actual food. The convenience of Goober Grape is not worth the nutritional sacrifice. Number 4. Welch's Concord Grape Jelly. Welch's has built its entire brand on the wholesome image of Concord grapes. Their commercials are filled with images of family farms and sun-ripened fruit, but the reality of their classic grape jelly is far less romantic. What's really inside? The ingredient list for their iconic Concord grape jelly is shockingly simple and shockingly bad. Concord grapes, corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, pectin, citric acid, and sodium citrate. Once again, the 1-2 punch of corn syrup and HFCS comes right after the fruit. The Sugar Bomb. A single tablespoon of Welch's grape jelly is about 50 calories and 10 grams of sugar. And let's be honest, nobody uses just 1 tablespoon. A typical PB&J for a kid might have 2 or 3, which puts you at roughly 20 to 30 grams of sugar from the jelly alone. That's getting into the same ballpark as a 12-ounce can of soda, which has around 39 to 40 grams of sugar. Most of that is added sugar from corn syrup, not the natural sweetness of whole grapes with their fiber and beneficial compounds. The fruit is just juice. The first ingredient, Concord grapes, sounds great, but in jelly, this almost always means grape juice or grape juice concentrate. You are not getting the skin, the seeds, or the fiber of the whole fruit, which is where many of the powerful antioxidants in Concord grapes are found. You are getting grape-flavored sugar syrup. Why avoid it? You are paying a premium for a brand name that delivers a product nutritionally indistinguishable from the cheapest store brand jelly. It's a sugar bomb made from corn syrup and grape juice, stripped of the fiber and nutrients that make fruit healthy. Don't let the farmer-owned story fool you into thinking this is a healthy choice. Number 3. Great value, Walmart strawberry preserves. This is the perfect example of a store brand that prioritizes rock-bottom prices over any semblance of quality. Walmart's Great Value brand promises savings, but when it comes to their strawberry preserves, you're saving money by buying a jar of red-colored sugar goo. What's really inside? The ingredient list tells a sad story. Strawberries, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, pectin, and citric acid. The first ingredient is strawberries, which is a good start, but it's immediately followed by a triple threat of sweeteners. The triple sugar threat. Why use 3 different types of sugar? Because each one is cheap and serves a specific industrial purpose. HFCS provides intense, cheap sweetness. Corn syrup adds bulk and prevents crystallization. Sugar rounds out the flavor profile. The result is a product that is overwhelmingly sweet, masking the taste of what are likely low-quality strawberries. A product made with good fruit doesn't need this much help from sweeteners. The texture problem. Like other cheap preserves, the texture is often unnaturally uniform and gelatinous. This isn't the texture of real fruit cooked down, it's the texture of a small amount of fruit suspended in a gel created by pectin and corn syrup. It's a food science creation, not a preserve. Why avoid it? Great value, strawberry preserves is a classic case of you get what you pay for. It's a sugar delivery system with some strawberry pieces mixed in. If you're on a tight budget, you're still better off buying a slightly more expensive brand that uses real sugar and more fruit. This is false economy. You're paying for sugar and water, not fruit. Number 2. Polaner Sugar-Free with Splenda. Here we have the diet food trap. Polaner Sugar-Free with Splenda is marketed to diabetics and health-conscious consumers, but what it replaces sugar with is arguably just as bad, if not worse. What's really inside? The ingredient list for their strawberry preserves is a chemical horror show. Water, polydextrose, maltodextrin, strawberries, pectin, citric acid, natural flavor, potassium sorbate, sodium benzoate, sucralose, Splenda, calcium chloride, and red 40. The fake food fillers. The first ingredient is water. The second is polydextrose, a synthetic polymer of glucose that's used as a bulking agent. The third is maltodextrin, a highly processed carbohydrate powder. You are paying for water and 2 synthetic fillers before you even get to the fruit. The strawberries are a minor ingredient in what is essentially a chemical gel. The artificial sweetener problem. This jam is sweetened with sucralose, also known as Splenda. While the FDA considers it safe, some studies have linked long-term consumption of artificial sweeteners to negative changes in gut bacteria, which can affect everything from digestion to mood. Furthermore, they can increase cravings for sweet foods. The artificial color disaster. This strawberry jam contains Red 40, a petroleum-derived food dye that has been linked to hyperactivity in children and is more tightly regulated in Europe. Real strawberry jam gets its color from strawberries. This product needs artificial dye because it contains so few actual strawberries that it would otherwise be a pale, unappetizing color. Why avoid it? This is not food. It is a chemical concoction designed to mimic jam. You are eating water, synthetic fibers, artificial sweeteners, and petroleum-based dyes. If you need to reduce your sugar intake, you are far better off eating a small amount of real jam made with real fruit and real sugar than this industrial sludge. Number 1. Worst. Smucker's Squeeze Grape Jelly. And the absolute worst jam brand you can buy is Smucker's Squeeze Grape Jelly. This product takes all the problems of industrial jelly, the corn syrup, the lack of real fruit, and puts them in a convenient plastic bottle for maximum processed food efficiency. What's really inside? The ingredient list for Smucker's Squeeze Grape Jelly looks like this: grape juice, water, grape juice concentrate, high fructose corn syrup, sugar, fruit pectin, citric acid, and sodium citrate. So yes, there is real grape juice in there, but it's immediately backed up by multiple added sweeteners. The ultimate sugar bomb. Because the base is grape juice plus HFCS, corn syrup, and sugar, this is basically liquid sugar in a bottle. A single tablespoon has around 12 grams of sugar and about 50 calories, and the squeeze design makes it ridiculously easy to overdo it. Functionally, you're putting dessert on your toast and calling it breakfast. The convenience deception. The squeeze bottle is marketed as a convenient, mess-free option for families, but that convenience depends on a perfectly engineered texture that flows through the nozzle on demand. That means a high proportion of syrups plus gelling/acidifying agents like pectin and citric acid, not a thick, rustic mash of whole fruit. It's optimized for squeezability, not for fruit quality. The preservative angle. Unlike some older or overseas formulations, the current US version doesn't rely on potassium sorbate as a preservative. Its shelf life comes mostly from the huge sugar load and acidity. That doesn't suddenly make it natural. It's still an ultra-processed high sugar product, but we're not going to slam it for an ingredient that isn't actually on the label. Why it's the worst, Smucker's Squeeze Grape Jelly still represents the absolute worst kind of jam. Ultra sweet, ultra processed, designed first for convenience and profit, not for nutrition or fruit quality. Compared with real fruit preserves, it's basically a flavored sugar syrup in a plastic bottle. If you care about what goes on your toast, this is the one to leave on the shelf. Now that we've scraped the bottom of the barrel, let's talk about the jam brands that are actually worth your money. These brands prove that you can still find real, delicious fruit preserves in the grocery store if you know where to look. Number 5. Smucker's Natural. Yes, Smucker's makes both one of the worst and one of the best. This is proof that you have to read the label, not just trust the brand. Their natural line is a world away from their conventional corn syrup-laden products. What makes it great? The ingredient list for Smucker's Natural Strawberry Fruit Spread is simple and clean. Strawberries, sugar, fruit pectin, and citric acid. That's it. Fruit is the first ingredient, and the only sweetener is real sugar. The real fruit advantage. Because fruit is the first ingredient, and there's no corn syrup to dull the flavor, you can actually taste the strawberries. It has the bright, slightly tart flavor of real fruit, not the one-dimensional sweetness of a sugar bomb. No artificial junk. There are no artificial preservatives, no artificial colors, and no high fructose corn syrup. It's just fruit, sugar, and pectin, the way jam is supposed to be made. Why it's worth it? Smucker's Natural is widely available and reasonably priced, making it a great entry-level choice for anyone looking to upgrade from processed jelly. It proves that you don't have to go to a specialty store to find a decent, honest jar of jam. Number 4. Crofter's Organic. Crofter's is a fantastic brand that offers organic fruit spreads with significantly less sugar than conventional jams, without resorting to artificial sweeteners. What makes it great? The ingredient list for their organic strawberry premium spread is excellent. Organic strawberries, organic cane sugar, pectin, and ascorbic acid, vitamin C. It's organic, simple, and clean. The lower sugar advantage, Crofter's prides itself on using 33% less sugar than standard preserves. They achieve this by using high-quality, flavorful organic fruit, so they don't need to mask the taste with excessive sugar. The result is a spread that is intensely fruity, not just sweet. The organic commitment. Being certified organic means the fruit is grown without synthetic pesticides, and the sugar is from organic cane, not GMO sugar beets. This is a cleaner product from farm to jar. Why it's worth it. Crofter's offers the best of both worlds, the health benefits of organic ingredients and a lower sugar content, without sacrificing flavor. It's a smart choice for families looking to reduce their sugar intake without compromising on taste. Number 3. St. Dalfour. St. Dalfour is a French brand that takes a unique approach to sweetness. They don't use any cane sugar at all. Instead, their spreads are sweetened only with fruit juice concentrate. What makes it great? The ingredient list for their strawberry spread is as simple as it gets. Strawberries, fruit juice concentrates, grape and date, and pectin. It's literally 100% from fruit. The no cane sugar difference. By using fruit juice concentrate, St. Dalfour creates a spread that has a different kind of sweetness, one that is deeper and more complex than the sharp sweetness of cane sugar. It allows the flavor of the primary fruit to shine through beautifully. The French craftsmanship St. Dalfour jams are made in France using a traditional method of cooking the fruit gently in the fruit juice concentrates. This preserves the texture and flavor of the fruit pieces, resulting in a spread that feels luxurious and homemade. Why it's worth it. For those looking to avoid refined cane sugar, St. Dalfour is the perfect choice. It's a high-quality, delicious fruit spread that proves you don't need to add sugar to make a fantastic preserve. Number 2. Bonne Maman. Bonne Maman is the gold standard for high-quality, widely available preserves. The iconic gingham lid and simple glass jar are symbols of a brand that has refused to compromise on quality. What makes it great? The ingredient list for their strawberry preserves is perfect. Strawberries, sugar, cane sugar, pectin, and lemon juice. Fruit is the first ingredient, and they use 2 types of real sugar for a balanced sweetness. The high fruit content. Bonne Maman is known for its high fruit content. The preserves are packed with whole or large pieces of fruit, and the texture is that of real, cooked down fruit, not a uniform gel. You can see and taste the quality. No shortcuts. There is no corn syrup, no high fructose corn syrup, no artificial colors, and no preservatives. The lemon juice acts as a natural preservative and helps the pectin set. This is a recipe your grandmother would recognize and approve of. Why it's worth it. Bonne Maman is a bit more expensive, but it is worth every penny. You are paying for real fruit, traditional craftsmanship, and an uncompromising commitment to quality. It is, in my opinion, the best jam you can find in almost any grocery store in America. Number 1. Best. Local and artisan jams. And the absolute best jam you can buy isn't from a national brand at all. It's from the local producer at your farmer's market or the small batch artisan brand at your specialty food store. What makes them the best local and artisan jam makers almost always use the simplest, highest quality ingredients. Locally sourced fruit, often organic or sustainably grown, cane sugar, and lemon juice. That's it. The freshness advantage. These jams are often made with fruit that was picked just days or even hours before being turned into jam. This level of freshness is impossible for industrial brands to replicate, and it results in a flavor that is vibrant, complex, and alive. The connection to your food. When you buy from a local producer, you can often talk to the person who made the jam. You can ask them where the fruit came from, how they make it, and what makes their product special. This connection and transparency is the antidote to the deceptive marketing of big food. The unique flavors. Small batch producers can create unique and seasonal flavors that you'll never find from a national brand. Think strawberry balsamic, peach lavender, or spicy raspberry jalapeno. They can experiment and take risks that a corporation never would. Why they are the best local and artisan jams represent everything that is right about food: quality ingredients, traditional methods, community connection, and a passion for flavor. When you buy local, you are not just getting a superior product, you are supporting a food food system that values quality over quantity and people over profits. Bonus section, how to choose better jam. 1. Read the ingredient list. The first ingredient should always be fruit. If it's sugar, corn syrup, or water, put it back on the shelf. 2. Check the sweeteners. Look for real sugar, cane sugar. Avoid high fructose corn syrup and corn syrup. If it's an all-fruit spread, make sure it's sweetened with fruit juice concentrate, not artificial sweeteners. 3. Avoid artificial additives. There should be no artificial colors, like red 40, artificial flavors, or chemical preservatives, like sodium benzoate or potassium sorbite. 4. Look at the texture. If you can, look at the jam in the jar. Does it look like real fruit or does it look like a uniform, brightly colored gel? Real jam has texture. 5. Check the sugar content. Compare the added sugars on the nutrition label. A great jam will have a lower number. Anything over 10 grams of added sugar per tablespoon is entering candy territory. So there you have it, the 5 jam brands you should never buy, and the 5 that are actually worth your money. The jam aisle doesn't have to be a confusing mess of sugar bombs and chemical concoctions. You just need to know how to read the label and what to look for. Remember, jam should be a celebration of fruit, not a celebration of corn syrup. When you choose brands that use real ingredients, you're not just getting better flavor, you're getting better nutrition and supporting companies that are doing things the right way. The food industry has spent a fortune convincing you that their processed sugary spreads are a normal part of a healthy breakfast. But now you know better. You know which brands are fooling you and which ones are delivering real, honest-to-goodness fruit preserves. Every time you choose a jar of real jam over a jar of corn syrup, you're voting with your wallet for a better food system. You're telling these massive corporations that you demand real food for your family. If this video changed how you think about the jam aisle, smash that like button and subscribe for more food industry exposés. Drop a comment below and let me know which jam brand shocked you the most, and what's your go-to brand now that you know the truth. Until next time, choose real fruit, read those labels, and never settle for candy in a jar when you can have the real thing. Your toast and your health will thank you. If you thought this jam investigation was eye-opening, wait until you see our expose on what's really in America's most popular peanut butters. From hydrogenated oils to hidden sugars, we're revealing the shocking truth about the other half of your PB&J. Click right here to watch, and prepare to never look at the peanut butter aisle the same way again. Peanut butter aisle the same way again.